Hi guys, happy Monday. All right, welcome back from spring break. Hope everybody had a great break and had some time to relax and be with your family. Today we are going to start off with math. Get my book out here. All right, so in math, if you look at the whole week, we are reviewing some things that we covered, and we started off with drawing and measuring angles. Tomorrow we're going to do joining and separating angles, finding unknown measures, a Kahoot review game, and then Friday, I'm going to add up here, Friday we are taking our math test on protractors. So we've got that assessment on Friday. So all this week we'll be reviewing. So we started off today with 14.3. So if you get out your math book for volume 2 and turn to page 499 is where it starts. We went ahead, since we were just reviewing, we jumped over and we actually tore out this page. So I'm just going to grab it here. We did page 502. Zoom. There we go. All right, so 502, we worked through these problems. So this first one says Kate tosses a stone in the water at a stone skipping tournament, and it forms a 20-degree angle with the water and skips many times. Which angle measures 20 degrees? So we went ahead and took out C and D because we realized D for sure is way too big. 20 is an acute angle. This is an obtuse angle. So we know it cannot be that one. We also know on C, 20 degrees is really small because it's only 20. So if we're starting out here, this looks to be about half of 90, maybe around 45. So we said that even though this is acute, that was too big. So we went ahead and took that one out. And then these two were pretty close. We went ahead and took our protractor and measured these. And when we lined up our angle here, put the vertex in this circle here where the origin is, we found that that was the 20 degrees. And when we did this one, we found that it was hitting right at the 30 degrees. So again, line up your protractor. Make sure this baseline is lined up perfectly with 0. Here, these are opening to the left, so you're using that outer scale. So 10, 20, 30. So our answer was B on that one because that was the one that was 20 degrees. And then again, just a quick check. I see that it's got just barely a little opening, which matches a small number like 20. So that looks reasonable there. 13, we needed to measure. It says Kyle moves furniture up a ramp to get it on a truck. What is the measure of the angle formed by the ramp? So here you've got angle LKJ. It's kind of dark in there, but there's that angle there. So we extended the line so we could read it easily on our protractor. And we found that it was an acute angle, so we went ahead and took out 150. Same thing, 80 is very close to 90, which is a straight line up here, so we knew it wasn't 80. And then 60 degrees was also pretty big for this size, so we double checked that, and 60 would be way over here. So this one right here is, it hits at 30 and 150. So that's where that 150 came from. But we know this is a tiny little angle, just barely this little opening here. We know that it can't be 150. That's way too big. So that would be kind of the one that they're trying to trick you on. So we kind of were being mindful, not kind of, we were mindful of that, making sure that we didn't choose one of those angles that goes with something that is a different type of angle. So if it's a little small acute angle, it needs a little small number, so something that is less than 90. All right, on 14, you've got a multi-step problem here. So, oops, I'm not sharing the whole page, sorry. There you go, that's better. All right, so here on 14, you've got Maria. She's building these 2 sets of stairs in her dollhouse, and we wanted to measure the angles in the picture, these pictures on the right, and then find the difference between them. So first we had to measure them. So we extended those lines to read it easily, because when you have, if you take away those lines and you just have these little short lines and you go to line it up, those lines stop about right in here. So if you extend them out, it's easier to see where on the protractor that they're hitting. So just take your ruler part of your take the ruler part of your protractor, line it up, and draw that to where you can extend it, and that'll help you to read it. So you can do it on that bottom ray here and the top one. So this one we found is 40 degrees. This one we found is 30 degrees. If you look at them, they're both acute. Both of those numbers match acute ranges. This one is just a little bit bigger than this one, so 40 and 30 makes sense. Those are reasonable numbers. And then we subtracted those and got 10. If you notice on here, if someone wasn't paying attention, here's the 40, here's the 30. If you just went and measured one of them, you might think that one of those is the answer. So make sure you actually read the question and read what it's wanting you to do, and then it's pretty clear that they're trying to find the difference between, so you need to subtract. All right, here it says, what is the measure of QRS? So again, we found that this was an obtuse angle, so we took out the acute. All this 35 and 45 were way too small. And then we line this up, and we are opening to the right, so we're going to use this inner scale here. So we start at 0, go all the way around. We hit, oops, and I just knocked it, so let me line it back up here. We go around, there's 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. We're not at 140 yet, we're halfway in between, so that 135. And if you look on the protractor, 135 also hits 45, which is where they got this number. So again, you have to ask yourself, okay, if my answer is 45, does this look like a 45-degree angle? And you would say to yourself, no, that it's way, way, way too big. I know that 45 is half of a 90-degree angle. So if this is 90, half of 90 would be around here. That would be 45. So this is way, way bigger than that. Okay, so be careful, making sure that you're choosing the right measurement. It all goes back to what type, where is that 0 starting at. Put all that together and you'll get your right measurement. All right, so once we did that, and we tore that out so we could measure this last one. So just stick that back in there. Slide it back in so it'll stay. And then our independent work is in Google Classroom. So let's head over there. So the 14.3, that's what we just did. The second part is this writing and video response. So if you go to Google Classroom, go to classwork, and go to the math, Monday through Friday math recording sheet. Open this up. All right, so you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Monday is a written response, and I want you to explain to a third grader what a protractor is and how it is used to draw and measure angles. So there's 3 parts to this. So first, what is it? Second, how do you use it to draw angles? Third, how do you use it to measure angles? So make sure you get all 3 parts, and you're recording your response below. So right here, after this highlighted part, you're just going to start typing. Okay, so you're going to type just like we practice in writing, introduction, body, conclusion. And your body part, you're going to make sure that you address and make sure by the time you get to the end, you've fully answered all of this. Once you finish that, you have a Flipgrid link here, Flipgrid video response. So you, on the Flipgrid, you can share your screen of you reading what you wrote and have that in the background, so you can share it with your classmates about what you wrote. And that'll be a good, helpful review to listen to others and to do it on your own for your test on Friday. So that'll be a good little review to do it and then hear it several times as well. So make sure you complete that. Then ST Math for when you're done. For small group today, we did some practice in Seesaw. There's week 27 small group math right here. We did some problems in that. Then for reading, we did a Jeopardy review game. So we were going over some questions and playing a game. So we will continue this all throughout the week. So context clues, different Greek and Latin words, inferencing, dictionary usage, figurative language, poetry. So just kind of a hodgepodge of different things that we've talked about throughout the year. So once this is all just in prep of our reading benchmark, which we have Thursday. So we did that. And then we started a passage called Night Flyers, which is in Seesaw here. So if you go down to week 27 reading benchmark review and open up your draft, we read the story right here called Night Flyers. And we know it was a paired passage because at the very front it says read the next two selections. So we know that this was this first one is passage 1. So this is called Night Flyers, and this is all this is mentioning the bats that we have here in San Antonio at the Bracken Cave near San Antonio. It says here. So this was interesting to read about, and it talks about how many different types and things like that, the benefits, and then how we can give back to bats. And then it has a couple images here of some of the bat houses that they were mentioning and some captions that go along with that. Then the second part is called a sweet part of nature. This was our passage 2. So we're going to do that tomorrow. So we went ahead and skipped to the questions on page 4. So we worked in small group on these 4 questions. So we did 13, 14, 15, and 16. So everything that goes with that first passage that we read. And once we did that, or once we had finished that, we stopped. So that was our small group time. I was popping into the different groups. So once we paused on that, we did some independent reading. And this the price of progress right here, we did this at the end of the day. We ran out of time, so we did this at the end of the day. It is right here, the price of progress. So this is talking about a couple boys that work together, and one is helping tutor in math. And then here's the questions that we went over and completed for intervention time. And then so you can draft that once you have that completed. Then in writing, we did our writing writing March Madness, to where we were going head to head with different introductions. So we had people take their introduction from their week 26 writing, and we were talking about, in an introduction, we're looking for a hook and a central idea. And so some of them had both, some of them had things missing, some of them had quite a bit of grammar and spelling and things like that. So we were kind of weeding through the different ones and having them go head to head and voting on what we thought was stronger and talking about why it was stronger. So we'll do that tomorrow for the body paragraphs, and then we'll do it on Wednesday for the conclusion. Then we'll piece together a nice strong paper. Then we talked about conventions, and we went over here to Seesaw activities, and we went to week 27 writing and clicked on this and opened this up. So we were talking about apostrophes, quotation marks, and commas, or we are going to be talking about apostrophes, quotation marks, and commas this week. So we started off with apostrophes. So remember, those are used for 2 different reasons. Number 1, to show ownership. So if I say Miss Snyder's protractor, or Matthew's hat, or Karen's doll, that apostrophe S shows me that whatever word is following, that person is, like that's Matthew's hat, or that's Karen's doll, or this is my protractor. So putting that apostrophe S shows that ownership. Another way to use it is to combine. So do not, don't, you are, your. So warning, they're not used to show, like you don't use an apostrophe to show that something is like a plural, like dogs. Dogs is plural, it's a plural noun, but you don't put apostrophe S, you just put the dogs and then the S, and that shows that there's multiple dogs. Or girls, You don't put 12 girls with apostrophe S, you leave the apostrophe off and just put that S, and that shows me that there are more than one girl. So we were kind of short on time, but we went through a couple of these. People were working with partners. So it starts off going over some of the things I just talked about. And then we'll get into, later on in the week, we'll get into quotation marks and commas as well and do some practice with that. So you can draft that. Go ahead, try a couple of those and then draft that. And then for science today, we watched this. Let me see if I'm still logged in. Yep.
Magnetism.
All right, let me play this for you.
Objective: to learn about magnetism and the properties of a magnet. A magnet is a material that attracts certain metals such as iron, cobalt, or nickel, but does not attract metals such as copper or aluminum. We would refer to the two ends of a bar magnet or a horseshoe magnet and the two sides of a disc magnet as the magnet's poles. Each magnet will have a north and south pole. But how can we tell which pole is north and which is south? One way is through simple experimentation. Using a long piece of thread, tie the magnet and hang it so that it's suspended in the air. After a few minutes, the magnet will stop spinning. It will point towards the Earth's north and south poles. The side pointing towards the Earth's north pole is the magnet's north pole, and the opposite end is the south pole. This property of the magnet is the basis around which a compass is designed. Compass needle will always point towards the Earth's north and south poles. If we were to move two magnets close to one another, the opposite poles will be attracted and the like poles will repel. This attraction and repulsion of the magnet as the magnetic force. If we cut our magnet into two pieces, each piece will still behave as a magnet with its own north and south poles. Magnetic forces will be the strongest at the poles. Let's do another experiment. This one to test magnetic strength. Sprinkle some iron filings on a piece of paper and hold the paper over a magnet. The iron filings begin lining up in a specific pattern around the magnet. You will see more iron filings at the poles, indicating their magnetic strength is stronger in that region. Around the magnet where the magnetic strength is weaker, you'll see loops of iron filings.
All right, so you can see here these iron filings. You have your, you can see the red and the blue, the magnet down at the end. You have, or underneath, and you've got your poles at the end. So you can see those filings are attracted most to the ends here. So you've got one at the North Pole and one at the South Pole. So see how strong they are there. That shows us that our magnets, the biggest strength is there at the poles. And then you can see these loops going around to show where that magnetic field is. And you can see that it's weaker in that area, not as clustered as it is here.
These lines of iron filings around the magnet are what we refer to as the magnetic field lines. And the area inside which the magnet exerts its force is the magnetic field. Summary. A magnet is a material that attracts certain metals, such as iron, cobalt, or nickel, but does not attract metals such as copper or aluminum. Every magnet has a north and south pole. Opposite poles of a magnet attract, and like poles repel.
All right, so if you want to pause the video and make sure you read this a couple times and make sure you've got that down, because after that we did a quizzes over that information. And let's see, go here. So if you go here to Monday and go right here, Monday Science Magnetism Quizzes, you can click the link here and it goes straight over that. So if you want to go back while you, and this link right here is right here on the agenda. So you can click that link and it'll go. Just make sure you're logged into your Launchpad. And when you log into your Launchpad, you have to go to Launchpad. You have to actually type or put in Discovery Education, open it up, and once it's logged you in, then you go back here, refresh it, and that'll make the video pop up if it doesn't on the first try. The transcript is here, so you can go through and review kind of quickly what was covered in the video if you need to go back during your quizzes. And let's see, Google Classroom. So click on the link there, and that'll take you through some questions, and that'll be a graded assignment for the week for science. So make sure you're happy with your grade. If you're not happy on the first time around, go back to the video, watch the video, look at that transcript, and then go try it again. And then feel free to ask questions if you need. Then where am I trying to go? Get out of here. Then the other thing we did was, here's where I'm trying to go. We did the brain pop on magnetism as well. Again, you can go to your Launchpad, type in brain pop, go to this first one that says brain pop, and the assignment is called magnetism. There's no quiz or anything since we're doing the quizzes. It's just the video. So you can, up here in your black bar, there's a thing on yours that will say notifications. Click that, and there's a notification that will say magnetism. So there's one that says thermometer as well. We'll do that. I think Wednesday is when we're scheduled to do that. Measuring, yeah, Wednesday. So just do the magnetism one. All right, then for social studies, we did today's article and questions. And then for your independent work, there's 2 videos here about how transportation and communication have changed over the years. And so if you go to your Google Classroom, you've got your Monday through Friday social studies on railroads. So open it up. And we did Monday here, so you can click the link. And this is a story about a girl's first trip on riding on a railroad, and it's talking about kind of her experience. So it says, what is paragraph 2 mainly about? And then why had it been such a long time since Deborah had seen her grandparents? So a couple comprehension questions about the reading there. So you can click it, listen, and follow along. And Monday is just 1 page, those 2 questions. So X out of that when you're done. And then those 2 videos, you click the blue here, and those are both there for you to watch about transportation and communication. And we talked about this as well, about just how things have changed and kind of what a difference that made. And that benchmark review right here, that's what I talked about with the reading, this price of progress. That's what we did at that time. So we'll keep reviewing. Actually, we're not going to review this day because this will be test day. So I have no intervention time due to testing. All right, so we'll review these first 3 days and then test on that Thursday. Alrighty, so tomorrow, I left my calendar at home, but I'm almost certain that I don't have anything tomorrow, and we'll be able to do tutorials on Tuesday. So in Seesaw, under your activities, down here at the bottom, permission slip. If you have your permission slips signed, all you need to do is have your parents sign right here, put your name. Parent needs to sign it, date it, and you can join us for tutorials. And then Wednesdays wear green, Thursdays are benchmark, Friday you need a flashlight, and we have our math test on protractors. So that looks like everything for today. I don't think I missed anything. Yep. All right, so hope you guys had fun in STEAM, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.